I know the anti-riot bill happened. We're going to look at that.
Really remarkable. If you look at the breadth of this particular piece of legislation, it is the strongest anti-rioting, pro-law enforcement piece of legislation in the country. The bill does a number of things. One, it tackles head-on this idea that we've seen last summer and then we still see today. There should be a movement to defund law enforcement. Now, obviously, the state of Florida, we're not going to do that under my leadership, but if a local government were to do that, that would be catastrophic and have terrible consequences for their citizens. And so this bill actually prevents against local governments defunding law enforcement. We'll be able to stop it at the state level. And if you look at some of these places that have done this, they've already seen crime go up, even just diverting some of the funding to this. And so it's an insane theory. This bill gives us the tools to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Boys, I love the Constitution and small government, but also if you protest and you spit on a cop or some shit during a protest, well, then they're going to murder you and we're going to take away all of your rights, not just your First Amendment rights. Hell yeah, brother. That's how we do it, brother. Where my fucking hat at? Where my goddamn Donald Trump hat at? Hold
really
on, I'm going to run that back
again,
brother.
Breadth.
You want to tell me you want to defund the police? Maybe reappropriate some funds back to community investment? You want to tell me, goddamn patriot, that we can't have a police state where I shove that boot so far down my goddamn throat that comes out of my asshole? Well, I say no, brother. I say nay. Here in America, my country, especially down in Florida, we fuck gators and we love our police, okay? And if you ever tell a cop he looks like a tater tot or that his skin is overflowing over the skin-tight Oakleys he's got around his thumb-like head, well, that's a hate crime, brother. I love freedom of speech, except for when you do a hate crime by telling a cop you fucked his wife. You do that, you shouldn't be allowed to vote no more. That's right, brother, because the Constitution is a living, breathing document that I use to oppress whoever the fuck I want to oppress. And who I want to oppress, especially in this circumstance, is motherfuckers that make me feel bad. That hurt my feelings, brother. That's why we need to start putting these goddamn protesters, First Amendment rights. Yeah, right, brother. That's fucking bullshit. On a catapult, on a trebuchet, throw them over the border to the other side, brother. No quarter for protesters. What is this? Communist China? We're gonna let you have freedom of speech? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I'm Hank Pecker, and that's my message.
If we saw last summer, some of the local governments are actually telling, not necessarily in Florida, but throughout the country, basically telling these folks to stand down, telling police to stand down while cities burnt, while businesses were burnt, while people were being harmed. That's a dereliction of duty. And so what our bill says that I'll sign into law today is that if you're derelict in your duty as a local government, if you tell law enforcement to stand down, then you're responsible for the damage that ensues. And if someone's been harmed or their property has been destroyed, then they can sue you for compensation. We also have penalties for people that commandeer highways, which we saw in other parts of the country.
Incredible stuff, boys. This is really good.
Around the country.
This is great stuff. Nothing can go wrong with this. I mean, listen, Kyle Rittenhouse, that other fucking Unite the Right rally guy, or was it Unite the Right? Charlottesville, like the Charlottesville rally terrorist. I forget his fucking name. These guys and many others all around the country have always fantasized about doing shit to protesters. In Florida, and this is a bill that has failed to pass in numerous other states in the country. Florida decided to finally push it through. It is literally unconstitutional. And the meme, the fantasy that conservatives always had, the meme fantasy that conservatives always had about like hurting fucking BLM protesters or like ramming through them with your vehicle. Well, now it's one way that potentially these honest to God Floridians who want to fucking murder black people protesting police brutality will be able to get away.
People toppling monuments of people like George Washington. This bill protects all monuments in Florida. You have no right to go in and take down monuments.
No, you will not be able to take down the monument of an old slaver, I will be very upset. We are gonna put more Klan monuments at courthouses. Don't touch the monuments. Like, fuck you and your fucking bitch-ass monuments, motherfucker. What kind of Republican small government attitude is this that you're literally, like, crying over shit-ass statues that people put up specifically to be like, fuck you, black people? Like, really? That's small government conservatism and not, like, enforcing the long, hard dick of the police state upon the citizens that you are supposed to protect the interests of? It's part of our history. You can't erase history. Hey, idiot, you literally can't erase history. Yes, you're right. And that's precisely why, despite having 0 monuments to Hitler, everybody knows who the fuck Hitler is. Go ahead, put a Hitler statue up. Go put a Hitler statue up. Come on. Let's see how that works for you, okay? Try it out. Who is Hitler? I forgot. Some of you might not know who Hitler is, guys, because there's no statues erected in his honor.
You can compare and contrast. Look at Seattle. Portland.
Seattle, Portland, all of these places. By the way, the fire was lit with police brutality and inaction and decades of inaction, if not centuries of inaction against police brutality, specifically when police brutality is enacted upon black and brown citizens. But beyond that, especially in the case of Portland, for example, it only escalates when there is more police brutality against the original protest against police brutality. If you retaliate against a group of individuals who are so fucking fed up with the way that the government is treating them, they're so fed up with the way the government is treating them that they're literally fucking lashing out. And then you turn around and you're like, well, oh, you're offended by this? Well, let me double down and straight up make it worse and, become even more aggressive. You're so mad. It's funny. Really? It's funny. Wait, actually, you know what? We should unban this motherfucker. You know what? I'm gonna unban him. I wanna fucking pet this. Okay, I wanna pet this little idiot. That's the best thing that happened in Florida. Like, oh God, this dude is so stupid. Oh God. Oh, never mind. Oh, I love that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep him in here. Best thing that happened in Florida. God, what a pathetic fucking life you must live if you're like, hell yeah, brother. Florida got an anti-protest bill. Damn, brother, this is so good. Holy shit, it's the best goddamn thing that's happened to me. You know, since my cousin went on birth control, so I could put my cummies inside of her without fear that she might get pregnant again. Motherfucker, listen, there's no Hitler statues, but there are, there's Holocaust remembrance. Like, there are memorials to the victims of Holocaust, victims of Nazi brutality, Nazi violence. So listen, I've said this before, but like, if you want to have the Confederate statues on, you just got to have some dude teabagging them, okay? They can stay up as long as someone's literally dunking on the dude and his nutsack is like dripping on his fucking forehead of Robert E. Lee. Just like keep him up, but the nutsack directly on the fucking chin or forehead, because that's what happened. Like, they got fucking cumstered and dumpstered. So what that means is, when you say, I want to have my goddamn Confederate statues, brother, what you're basically saying is, I want to have a participation trophy for motherfuckers that lasted just as long as the Trump administration did. What you're basically saying is, I want a monument that actually rewrote history, made it seem like we weren't the fucking losers that fought and died to, preserve the state's rights to own slaves.
And we want people to peacefully protest when they feel the need. This is a riot, and this will get you locked up before quick in the state of Florida.
Look at his face.
Pay attention. We've got new law, and we're going to use it if you make us.
The problem here, what many people fail to recognize, is that the line here is arbitrary. The line is often crossed when police escalate. Police know how to crowd control. They often just choose not to do the crowd control in a de-escalating way. But instead, they do crowd control in the escalating way. That's why they fucking tear gas motherfuckers and are aggressors in nearly every single circumstance. They arrest people in this kind of protest, but this kind of protest turns into this kind of protest by the police. So if the police are the escalating force there, and then they're also the judge, jury, executioners, you're going to get a lot of people who get riled up, agitated, and then kettled and corralled. Now, they already do this, and they are doing that already. They did this in Minneapolis, where a bunch of, at the Brooklyn Center protests that are happening in Minnesota currently, a bunch of journalists were already arrested. They did this during the George Floyd protest. They arrested the shit out of fucking even journalists, like anyone that's there. It's called the dragnet. It is literally unconstitutional, and it's not supposed to happen. Wow, look at that. It looks like a peaceful protest. Oh, wait, no, it's not a peaceful protest. It's burning every building down in the city. Why are you arresting me? Oh, no. The only time entire building blocks have been burned down in an American city is when white supremacists decided to bomb the shit out of Black Wall Street in Tulsa by throwing firebombs out of airplanes that they used in World War I. Or maybe the entire city block that was burned down in the Philadelphia move bombing by the police department. That doesn't happen. Like, these people don't fucking burn down entire cities. What's worse? Your local Wendy's and the broken windows at your local Wendy's, or a life that was taken? First of all, everyone always goes to, well, what about like the the black small business owner whose windows were burned down or their business was burned down? And that is bad. It's 100% bad. Why is that bad? Because it impacts a human being. Buildings and property do not have this weird intrinsic value. Well, they might, but in most circumstances, they do not have this like intrinsic value. What you care about is the human being that was hurt as a consequence of that building being damaged. That's the reason why you get upset when property damage occurs. But property damage ultimately is recoverable. The lives lost are not. You can rebuild a local store. You cannot rebuild a life once that person has been murdered. What I'm trying to describe to you is you understand that. You recognize that. So just remember what the originating cause is of these sorts of actions. The originating cause is always an actual fucking life being taken in the hands of the police. This entire bill is just giving cops carte blanche, more liberty to beat the fuck out of you. Beat you senseless because you were involved in a protest. It also creates a situation in which they can cast a dragnet, and be like, yeah, you were in a protest. Sucks to suck, bitch. I'm going to violently apprehend you.
This is what all these law enforcement officers and administrators and sheriffs and police chiefs and their officers do every day. They guarantee an environment where you can come here and have fun. Heck, you can even have more fun. Here's another picture. This is the Florida we know and love. We're a special place.
Florida is a special place. Like, that's not even a joke. You know what I mean? He's right. Listen, motherfucker, if you've ever been to Florida, you know it's a special place. And I don't mean that in like a good, positive way, okay? It's a special place in the worst way possible, okay? It is special.
Come here.
Look at these black babies. They're jumping into the water after, paying for the express pass on the Disneyland or Disney World or whichever one is in fucking Florida or Orlando. Now, if those black babies were jumping outside of a burning building, then, we're going to fucking arrest them. We're going to beat the shit out of those black babies.